convenient of your time, Commander. Remember that matter on Cloister I mentioned earlier? Well, since we're here and all, thought we might take it up now. Might be hard to believe, but 20 or so odd years ago, I made a mistake. Feels like high time I righted it. Now I'm out and about again. For many years now, a former colleague of mine's been in a remote spot called Reasons Pass, on account of my decision. I try not to think about regret or remorse. I shut down her work. I was wrong. Stating that out loud is the furthest extent of my self-castigation. Her research was unconventional, surely. She was as well. I think with both, we could right things, get the Order back on its intended path. Do appreciate it, Commander.
What could possibly be keeping the repair personnel so long? Oh, greetings. By any chance, did you happen to encounter the repair personnel I dispatched to Resistor Bank 2789B12? Our new JTY-1030 resistor banks are built with enough durability to suffer through a tremendous amount of misuse. But the brutish handling by the Protectorate is too much for it. The misuse is causing moisture uptake, which causes the resistors to give off more heat. In the snow, that means more moisture, which means even more heat. I'm sure you can observe that the problem is cyclical in nature. I don't suppose you'd be willing to aid me in fixing this? It's down in the valley just southwest of the archive. The heat has liquefied all the snow off the glass surface. It is an easy location to observe. Ursopods, Protectorate forces, rogue scrappers, blizzards, mantisaurs, maybe even Auntie's choice forces. Truly a smorgasbord of unfortunate options. In the short term, it's wreaking havoc with the weather and causing small, localized blizzards. Long term, the Archive would suffer irreparable damage to multiple systems. Undoubtedly, this would reduce its maximum operations per millisecond. Obviously, this is unacceptable. I loathe that, for now, our actions may aid the Protectorate, but we must protect the Archive. Oh, this is most appreciated. Unfortunately, the previous repair personnel took the only repair kit I had on hand. I'll mark the coordinates of the resistor bank on your map, but locating the repair personnel will be up to you. If you find him, you find the kit. I hope. Otherwise, the repair will be most difficult. I'll guide you.
Not the most hospitable climate. Keep an eye on your fingers and toes.
I find your proposed time frame leisurely. Unaccountably so.
But going any faster grossly increases the threat of collapse. Burying us beneath the snow benefits no one.
So long as we are up, have you at least determined the cause of the avalanche?
Yeah!
These temporary indignities of the body are nothing contrasted to the Order's future. Keep those eyes open, soldiers. Corneal thrust might be damned.
Friendly outbound, hold fire. Friendly outbound, hold fire.
Heard that rift near the archive. Halt! The Oracle Laureate sent ahead to expect someone matching your description. However, he said nothing about admitting questionable allies. Cultist. Agitators are not permitted inside Laplace's garden. Your companion will have to wait outside.
How'd you like to find your insides waiting outside?
I find that an improbable outcome were we to engage in violent conflict. Laureate Beckett did impress the importance of not delaying you. Very well, head on in. But behave yourselves. The garden is something of a fragile ecosystem.
Agent, I have a message for you. Oh, I was not expecting you to be in the company of a cultist.
A cultist and her extremely sharp knife. Shall I introduce you?
No, that won't be necessary. Where was I? Oh, yes, I remember now. On behalf of the Order of the Ascendant and her impermeable wisdom, the presiding bishop Ruth Bassar, welcome to Laplace's garden. The presiding bishop is presently indisposed, but I've been instructed to direct you to the Artificer Laureate for whatever pressing matter has brought you to the garden. She's working in Belvedere Hall's secondary courtyard. Enter the large building at the top of the mesa ahead and follow the first hall on your right. Oh, yes. The vicar did ask me to direct you to him. How positively forgetful of me. He should be waiting for you in Belvedere Hall's main courtyard at the top of the stairs. The Artificer Laureate is head of the Department of Applied Scientism, overseeing the exemplars, or craftsmen, of our order. Weapons and technology all fall under her purview. Oh no, not at all. The presiding bishop routinely spends time in a sensory deprivation chamber to hone her mental faculties. Of course, she does seem to be logging more hours in the chamber of late, but I'm certain that's all part of the plan. The rest of the Laureate Council is capable of managing affairs while the presiding bishop is occupied. Really, it's no reason for concern. Nothing in the garden is. Look around you. I don't see a battlefield. Do you? All conflict is transient in nature. To dwell on the negativity of a moment is to risk missing the opportunity of what comes next. Those in the garden have enough perspective to remain present and to focus on what matters: science and progress. And you for recognizing such quality of vision. But now, I fear I have kept you long past an ideal duration. May all your problems precede solutions.
place smells like science. Or maybe that's math.
I'm cutting you off there, Charles. That's your third conviction today. People will start to worry. Welcome to the CAF integration point. Will it be caffeine or convictions today? Convictions are statements which promote personal and professional confidence and well-being, leading to 22.9% more scientific breakthroughs in a given quarter. Interested? Then let's have a gush. I haven't spied you around before. New project appointment? Must be an adjustment, all things considered. Earth Directorate? In Arcadia? That's rather anomalous. And I'd go as far as to say wholly unexpected. By all means, continue. I'm fascinated to learn the particulars of this little mission of yours. What can I say? I'm especially well-read. Understood. Agent. You know, I'm actually nearing the end of my shift. If you're amenable to continuing our chat somewhere more private, I think we could both benefit. Right this way. You must be curious why I asked for such a discreet rendezvous. Allow me to whet your appetite for intrigue a little further, shall I? I have adequate reason to believe the Order is conducting a mass experiment on the population of Laplace's garden. The Order is not cultivating its perfect, plan-abiding society through careful ideological pruning, as the laureates would have you believe. It's simple pharmacology. Put bluntly, they're regulating the emotions of everyone in Laplace's garden through drugs in the water supply. Why would the Order want to create a society of undistractable little academics whose only desire is to advance the plan? I wonder. Moderate your volume, please! No one here is in any immediate peril. Probably. The Order claims the subjects here supposedly consented to participate, but it was begun prior to the schism with the Protectorate, so who's to say? Regardless, if the Order has made some kind of pharmaceutical breakthrough, imagine how useful it might be to certain parties to know about it in advance. I represent a group of information traders who would pay well to get their hands on a sample of this drug. Interested? So you've heard of us? Good. That makes this easier. My primary task has been to watch the Order. But I'm confident my superiors would agree. Physical proof is of far greater value than mere rumor. All you need to do is enter water reconditioning and collect a sample of the drug. I believe they call it perspective. This passcode will give you access to the main terminal. Watch the guards patrol before making your way into the facility. If worst comes to worst, I wager Laureate Beckett also has a keycard on him, but that might be tricky to lift. Lately, he's been sitting near the fountains, performing his silly little breathing exercises. If he's not there, then he's likely in conference with the presiding bishop. Whatever you do, be discreet. I can't have any laureates asking questions about me. Understood? One more thing before you leave. Outside of work, I have, let's call it an alternative inventory. You'll have to pay, of course, but I'm sure I have something that'll make your job a little easier. And I'd like to offload some of this merchandise. Sounds like a win-win.
Infrared Scientician surplus.
Welcome to the Scientician Surplus. I am the Scientician in question. Any inquiries about the stock may be directed to me. Either you intend to buy or you intend to go without. It would be unethical for me to interfere with your decision-making process. It's there in the name, surplus. Of course you would.
The color tends towards white. The addition of a variety of reds and subtones. There. Nondescript walls of the library, classroom, or dormitory facility.
Every day treating the same strange equations.
Strange to see all this vacant space after the overcrowding at Matriarch's Mercy. Plenty of room for refugees here. If only the Order administrants got their act together.
How did your hypothesis about the flowers fare?
Exposing them to melodic sound waves on a consistent basis did affect improvements on their overall growth.
And you controlled for the amount of carbon dioxide expelled from your mouth during these musical sequences?
More testing may be required.
you have good news for me. I knew I had the right person for the job. You've saved me quite the headache. Your reward, as promised. Aw, wondering if you'll ever see me again? Precious. I'll remain in the garden a little while longer, but it would be best if we limited contact with one another. No offense. But who knows? The plan mystifies even the greatest minds. Perhaps our paths will intersect again someday.
If you need to discharge any sputum, I ask you kindly aim such accretions away from my general direction. Thank you. Oh, just passing time by calculating high probability diametrics within an error margin of 0.05. I'm waiting for the results of a rather exciting prediction, you see. Sometime last year, I predetermined an occasion of momentous import would happen today, right here, at these very coordinates. None taken. But now I've forgotten to introduce myself properly, haven't I? Leslie Beckett, Oracle Laureate, Seer Supreme, leader of the Department of Predictive Analysis, and not terribly good at informal introductions, evidently. Forgive me if I don't shake hands. I prefer to keep my skin microbiome free of exogenetic cells. You understand? But now, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the agent we've been expecting. I knew loitering at this location would yield results. I don't suppose you've stumbled upon any of our excogitation chapels around Cloister by chance? Excogitation chapels are order residencies where one can meditate in solitude on specific theorems relating to the plan. They're scattered all around Cloister. Prior to the war, such focused study led to all manner of breakthroughs, with audio logs routinely kept by the scientician in residence. In these unprecedented times, such logs could harbor hidden wisdom. However, with the war on, I've sadly been unable to get my hands on the last of these recordings. Oh no, I couldn't possibly ask you to endanger yourself by seeking out these logs. Cloister is rather treacherous, and some of the chapels are difficult to reach by design. However, if you happened upon these chapels and recovered these logs, I would most certainly be interested in their contents. By my reckoning, the amount of logs to be collected is 4. You have that? 4. No more, no less. Each chapel should have at least one somewhere inside.
For pity's sake, is it the pump? Or the... Industrial science is mostly theory, they said. You won't have to put your knowledge into practice for years, they said. Now the fountain's broken and I can't... Useless. I'm useless. We had an avalanche recently, not far from the dome. One of these fountains stopped working around the same time. Stands to reason something must have been jostled loose. I recently placed into the industrial sciences, so I've been entrusted to fix the issue. But I've never had to put my knowledge into application before. It's not going well. The garden is supposed to be perfect, not a stem or stamen out of place. Lack of perfection betrays carelessness, negligence, imprecision. It's basic causal inference. If I can't nip this issue in the proverbial bud, who knows what might happen as a result? No, of course. You must have business, and I ought to return to my efforts. Idle minds fail to endeavor, and all that.
Announced by the very individual we suspect orchestrated it. Not the theory, but the data supports it. Rigorous analysis of the console's noise deflection reveals telltale signs of deception. We estimate with a 48% certainty that the protectorate has undergone. Certainly not unexpected, given our knowledge of the protectorate's societal structure. Yeah!
Only security personnel are permitted in this booth. Leave. Please. Lift access. At this time, residents of Laplace's garden are not permitted beyond this point.
Agent, over here. Ah, there you are. I was informed by Gertie you've agreed to help us reconvene negotiations. With your aid, Auntie's choice and the Order will soon be rivals no longer. Just think of all we can accomplish if our two sides reject fractiousness and combine our efforts. Remember, seek out ways to help both sides. Engender trust. Gertie and I will let you know when it's time to move forward. In the meantime, I might recommend you work on honing your oratory skills. Our presiding bishop and Auntie Cleo can be challenging to debate with.
Gazing upon the golden spiral, a part that's quite so vital, arcing in the circle.
You. I don't know who you are. But if you thought it wise to bring a cultist into the heart of Order territory, you are deeply foolish. I have not the slightest theory as to how you bypassed our guards. But if it was through violence, be assured, it will be returned exponentially.
Exactly. Though, to be honest, I was thinking of filleting you, but it didn't seem worth getting Artificer all over me.
I shall be the judge of her trustworthiness myself. There is a cultist-centric issue the Order needs resolved. I suspect you are capable of doing such. If you are not, I cannot trust you, and certainly cannot allow you to see Ruth.
If these cultists are suffering the same affliction of being traitorous curs as the others seem to be, then I look forward to killing them.
My task is this. A myriad of cultists have taken over the settlement of Newton, which is a nearby site of historical but not strategic significance. I want them gone. Once there was a bridge stretching from the settlement to the archive, but it was destroyed by a rift. Best keep your distance should you travel there.
As much as I'd welcome the bloodshed, it may be wise for me to avoid members of the Dawn until I get their treachery sorted.
I'll withhold my appreciation until this task is complete. May you act within the equation's confines.
Did you receive your personalized order petition yet? I'll admit to a bit of trepidation in regards to opening mine. Use caution as you progress. There's been reports of first bloods in the
Lovely day for a coup, dear. May all our...
Please assess your pain on a variable scale of 1 to 100, with 1 entirely pain-free and 100 being the worst pain you can imagine.
Don't make me pursue you! Far too much variability in that. Internal records classify you a figure of ill repute, and with a significant backlog of fines.
Allow me, child. I have a familiarity with Order procedures. Such an unproductive misuse of time.
But I...
Glad my...
Was committing that crime really worth squandering our goodwill?
Excuse me, I don't think you have the authorization. All the items we put into the rift, they've been reconstituted.
Rift is deconstructing their epidermis.
Oh, damn it. Reverted to its previous state. Hurry! Assistant, activate the monitoring equipment and take readings.
Rare again has reverted. Time architect above. That was incredible. That small, portable device changed the state of the rift anomaly in an instant. From observing how the device operates and how the rift reacted to it, it seems to be using some kind of energy burst generated by a magnetic field to re-deregulate the structure of the field around the rift. Truly an astounding piece of technology. Would you consider allowing me the opportunity to open the casing and examine the inner workings? No, forget I asked. What a preposterous question. Thank you for the demonstration. It was most enlightening. You have given my team and I a good deal to think about, and to try and fit into our current theoretical framework. It seems rifts do not fit cleanly into our current understanding of the universal equation.
Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Over here! You. I don't know you. But you, I do. It's good to see you, Asa. It's me, Severin. You know, I've never been to Cloister before. It's cold.
What is wrong with you? Boy, damn it! Did they mentally refresh you?
No, let's just say I'm well lubricated. You tried the new Prestige gin? It helps when you have to do something you really don't want to do. Yes, there are a bunch of sentinels in hiding. When I give the word, they're to execute both of you.
Not before I mentally refresh your brain pan with my knife.
I didn't want to do this. I guess I shouldn't have questioned the kill order so loudly. It was real. It came from the exalted leader herself. She summoned me, knew of the message I'd sent, said I'd ruined everything. To save myself, save the Dawn, I had to do this. I'm a coward. I didn't want to die. I'm sorry, Asa.
Absolutely not. We don't need his help. We should just kill him and get on with the Sentinel killing. If we die, at least I'll be taking a great many of them with us. You make a compelling argument. No need to waste our time killing yet more faceless cogs in the Protectorate machine. As fun as that may be.
But you're basically just asking me whether I'd like to be killed by you or the Sentinels. Because when they figure it out, they'll execute me. That gin must have muddled my gray matter more than I thought. I'd have sworn there was no way out of this, but what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Thank you. And thank you, Asa. I thought I was dead.
What an idiot. I can't believe I thought of him as a friend. I can't believe she betrayed us. And the whole of the Dawn to save her own life. What a coward. The unspeakable things I will do when I find her. Well, once I find her. The exalted... No, I won't refer to her as such any longer. Dagmar continually moved around for safety. She always initiated contact with me. We do know that she was in league with the Sentinels, though. There's nothing of it but to get ourselves inside their headquarters on Praetor. We'll track her by accessing their comm system. Couldn't have said it better myself. Fortunately, we don't need to worry about hacking their systems. Well, we won't need your expertise. You see, my parents were vigilant. I stole their access codes when I was younger, but never had the nerve or call to use them. Once we do, they'll become unusable, as they'll set off all sorts of alarms. Dagmar didn't betray us to the Sentinels. She is a Sentinel, with a fucking office here in Central Control. It's enough to make one take leave of their sanity.
Oh, child, I think that tram has long since cleared the station.
I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that. Fortunately, there's an easy solution to Dagmar's betrayal. One which involves removing her head from her body. Or maybe we should start with the disemboweling? So many choices.
I suppose congratulations are in order for having dispatched so many Sentinels. Can't rightly say I'm surprised, what with your knack for wanton violence. But still, impressive. And let's not forget that I was the one who gave Azahelia Leidinger a purpose and fulfillment. Look at how much fun you've had.
Oh, she's dead already. But I might make it quick if you have a good explanation for your betrayal.
Let's not be hasty. I mean, can it even be a betrayal if it was always lies? But I must say, when I started the Dawn at the Consul's behest, I knew you were the perfect candidate.
What are you talking about? There were cultists before me.
No, there were not. The fiction of a cult was born out of the need to convince the Sovereign to return to the true spirit of the Protectorate. The Consul feared he was too weak.
So what we found in the Rift Lab was true. Everything Dagmar told me was lies. Our cause isn't righteous.
As much as I'd prefer to not anger you, I must say your willful ignorance is still a thing to behold. You are always so willing to accept even the most specious of arguments. I can only hope your luck has run its course and the remaining Sentinels are able to put you down. Your death would put me back in the Consul's good graces. Goodbye, Aza.
No, that's too quick. What about... No, not painful enough. Yes, that's it. I just need to find a piece of heat-conducting metal and something to peel the skin effectively.
Dear, you really must try to work smarter, not harder, when it comes to effectively inflicting pain before eliminating a target. You'll wear yourself out.
What, you suddenly take issue with my methods? I can think of no reason to curtail the pleasure of my revenge. Dagmar must die. Violently. Her betrayal warrants no other response. I know of no other way to act.
Imbeciles! How did you let Aza get this far? Stop her! She means to assassinate me!
Be cornered. She's sure to have an escape route. We should find it.
Ah! You're still alive! Now, let's not be too hasty here. You seem a rational person. There must be something we can do to resolve this peacefully. Please don't let Aza get her hands on me.
Why are you talking to them, Dagmar? I'm the one you must answer to. What? Why? Fine. But you are only prolonging the inevitable.
I must say, I am in favor of prolonging the inevitable myself. What I did for the greater good, to save the colony, all at the Consul's behest. It was my duty as a loyal subject to the true Protectorate. What other reason need there be? And Azza, she was an obvious choice. So lost, so dead inside, so in need of guidance. But then, she went berserk. I never imagined how she'd take to the killing and mayhem. You brought me great praise from the Consul. Until you started asking questions and killing the wrong people.
Enough of this blathering on! It's well past time for Dagmar and her life to part ways. Feel free to think on that while I start in on her dissection. She's dead. As am I. She should have suffered more for what she did. You know, for a moment there, I was questioning everything, but it quickly became obvious she was just lying to save herself. I don't appreciate your tone. You need to show me some respect. Now that Dagmar is dead, I'll be leading the Dawn into the glorious future. You're absolutely right. They turned on me once, they could do it again. And it will be easier to pick them off if I disband the Dawn. I can send out a general message to all the cells from here.
I'll say our communications have been compromised or some such. That the Exalted Leader is dead and that they need to separate and protect themselves. That should work, though I suspect a fair amount will simply just jump into the closest rift. I'm sure there will be some that ignore the message completely, though.
Enough to keep my knife skills up, at least.
It's done. Let's leave this place. It sickens me. It's strange how I ended up here. With the cult nothing but an empty, discarded idea. If I hadn't started traveling with you, I may have spent my days hunting down the members I thought traitors and never realized it was Dagmar until too late. You may not have noticed, but I have a tendency to be a little impulsive. Reckless, even. Not too reckless to heed your counsel, at least when it comes to the remnants of the Dawn.
See that spire? That's the archive right there. The archive.
Introducing Auntie's new line of specialty drinks for the discerning consumer.
I'll wager the V.A.L.E.R.I.E had all kinds of protectorate blasted off. We should show.
You know what these new Westport protectorate folks need? A middle manager to focus their earning potential. Just so happens.
Hello again. Remember not to move too swiftly if Copernicus lunges. What can I do for you?